how technology and innovation can be leveraged more to transform India's education spectrum in the new world order. With this, let me take this opportunity to welcome Sri M. Nagarajan, Director, Higher Education Department, Government of Gujarat. He also happens to be the co-program chair for the second edition of APEC Global Educational Skill Conference. We welcome Sri M. Nagarajan. Thank you so much for joining us in the inaugural.
Thank you, Sovik. I'm glad to be here. It is one of the kind mega program on global education and skill. I congratulate your team for putting this all together and kickstarting the discourse once again on these interesting and futuristic topics.
Right, sir. Just taking cue from what you have said, that it has turned out to be actually a very good event in terms of speakers. For next 3 days, we'll be having 100 plus speakers from higher education spectrum, from global universities, and also EdTech solution providers. So, Manthan, as we say, that brainstorming will happen for next 3 days on various aspects of transforming education by using innovative approaches, innovative technology, as well as innovation. And I know personally that you yourself is a technology geek, I must say that, and you know in and out of technology, especially when it comes to governance and especially when it comes to education also. So without taking much time, let me hand over the session to M. Nagarajan, the co-program chair of APEC Global Education Skill Conclave. We'll be talking about importance of innovation and technology for imparting higher education in the new normal. And we'll be joining by the Honorable Minister of Uttarakhand, Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat, as well shortly. So without taking much time, over to M. Nagarajan. Let's hear his opinion and his vision on future of education aspects of fostering tech as a culture. Over to you, Mr. M. Nagarajan.
Thank you. A very warm good morning to all the August guests and the audience gathered here. Respected Dr. Dhan Singh Rawat, Honorable Minister for Higher Education and Medical Health and Family, Government of Uttarakhand. Respected Shri Naveen Mittal, Commissioner of Collegiate Education and Technical Education Department, Government of Telangana. My fellow eminent speakers, Dr. Varnali Deka IAS, Kunal Silko IAS, and all the eminent speakers, Vice Chairman IISCT, Dr. H.P. Punia, Dr. Akhilesh Mishra, Dr. Mohit Gambhir, Dr. Biswajit Saha, and Dr. Venkatesh, and all the eminent speakers who are going to join us across the 3 days, and all the audience who have joined us on live on the web. I'm glad to be here on this APEC second Global Education and Skill Conclave. We are talking about global education and skill, and with the new education policy, truly Indian higher education and overall education also is going to go global. In my personal opinion, the new education policy is one of the kind policy which was very much ahead of its time. Normally in new technology sectors, say for example drones, IoT, 3D image printing and all that, the law and the policy is trying to catch up with the growth of technology. But only in our education field, we have seen a policy which is futuristic and which is well ahead of its time. And it is prodding us all to live up to the promise of education for the future of the students and youth of this country. And especially today, I am glad to share about some of the importance of innovation and technology for imparting higher education in this new normal. We have now got used to living in this new normal, and we don't know where we are going to achieve perfect normal. Even now, if you see, for the state like Gujarat, where I am presently talking from, we are having almost near normal, and all the businesses are functioning, colleges are reopening, schools are scheduled to reopen very soon, all precautions are being taken, and all plans are being made to tackle the challenge of delivering education in these hard times. At the same time, there are almost 10 states in India which are having growth or increase in the COVID positive cases, and also facing partial shutdowns and other things. So we are having a very dynamic situation where everyone is going through a phase or the curve of the wave of the COVID. And while we are talking about the third wave, some are experiencing it earlier and some may experience in future. So this challenge is going to remain for maybe a few more months and maybe an year or so also, we can't, no one is able to predict. But in these challenges, we can't afford to stop the delivery of education, especially higher education, where I want to focus. We have seen that last year there was suddenly we had to start online classes in the academic year, and there was something around say 1.5 to 2 months of time where it was very clear that online is the only way to go. And in Gujarat, I can share from a personal experience that the state government was very keen and serious that education should not suffer despite the pandemic. And in higher education, we had a massive campaign for online education tools, and we had formed a statewide policy adopting various technologies and tools that are available. Initially, we started experiments with various e-learning tools and technologies, and later on, right now, we are using majorly, among other tools, Microsoft Teams, because we are able to connect the entire college education system through single sign-on and various features that are available in this feature platform. Side by side, we were also facing challenges in creating an administrative framework and also workflow systems, and also having data and monitoring systems for these kind of classes. Suddenly, while all these would have been should have been done in the normal course of time, we were suddenly faced with a quick, immediate requirement, and our internal teams also geared up and also put together a platform where non-academic activities could also be coordinated along with academic activities, so that the entire spectrum of delivery of higher education it does not suffer. And especially when it comes to technology, I can say that some of the strategic things that we made was having a proper studied decision, consulting various stakeholders to go for a uniform platform across the state of Gujarat. That helped us in providing uniformity, providing continuous training, and also creating a very scalable platform where we are having some teachers of 20,000, more than 20,000 higher education teachers, especially in government and grant in aid that I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about self-finance institutions. And there are more than almost, we have capacity for 20 lakh students, and something around 13 to 15 lakhs we are getting good utilization. And we are able to empower the individual teacher to schedule his classes, train, provide training materials, also have online and offline conversations to them online also between multiple channels on the same teaching learning platform. And also sometimes files are getting shared, and documents are being distributed, assignments are getting submitted. So all this we could do and deliver a major thing because we could leverage technology. And I can say that there was least amount of resistance for introduction of this kind of e-learning and new technologies, because everyone felt that it is the most relevant thing to do, and the felt need was already there. So whenever we are talking about innovation and technology, this felt need is very, very important. If you start with felt need, you are going to have grand success. If you are going to make people aware about why it is necessity and all that, and if you are able to get their buy-in in the initial stage itself, then your journey is smooth, and you have to only take care of the hiccups that you might probably face. And also we were able to provide identity, email IDs, and identification for single sign-on for all the teachers and also students. We have a single sign-on facility registration for students also. Thereby we could immediately go to online fees payment and facility for all the government colleges. We had a lot of challenges in terms of the fees structure, the treatment of various amounts that will be received, reconciliation, settlement, and so many other factors were certainly there. And we had a very high learning curve for all the staff, because none of them were technocrats or technologists. Most of them were professors who are keen to do something in this challenging time. And that we could also move forward on that. And now we are working on creating dashboards and dynamic data collection from all these various instances of e-learning platform, and then connecting it with the MSS, the decision support system, and the MIS. So that is what we are currently doing in the e-learning space. On the other side, we also could do a lot of work, impactful work on innovation and startup movement, especially the student startup. Gujarat is one of the states which was pioneer in having a startup policy for the college students, and it has earmarked a grand amount of 200 crores 5 years ago, and now this policy is about to end, and a new version of the policy will be coming out next year. With the kind of experience that we have seen, that this kind of focus on innovation, creating an innovation pipeline through the higher education organizations is giving very high dividends. We all know that entrepreneurship increases the locus of control of the individual, which is very, very important for self-realization and also effectiveness in their professional and personal sphere. And getting experience and exposure to entrepreneurship in the age group of 17 to 21, 22, in the college itself, in the sandbox environment where they are supported by the mentors, the teachers, the professors, has access to the infrastructure of the college. He belongs to that institution, and thereby he is able to access to the policy and its features. We could able to create almost 700 patents that were filed in the last 3 years, and more than 5,000 ideas. Almost 5,000 ideas are being funded, and here nobody funds ideas in the venture ecosystem. Everyone wants to fund a proven product which is proven and which has a potential. But to reach to that stage, the idea to product and then to market, this journey of mind to market needs to be facilitated. That is where Gujarat has created Gujarat Student Startup and Innovation Hub, where we are consolidating all these activities. And last year during the pandemic, from same time around July, August, September, we were able to do a mass IPR program where intellectual property and its related aspects was taught to all the higher education professors and teachers. More than 5,300 people participated in this massive online course, and we could all deliver this through online platforms by using the existing facilities, and we could create a big ground level awareness change in this IPR program, because of which now all the professors and the teachers are able to guide the students about entrepreneurship and innovation, and thereby we are seeing a very high increase in the IP creation in the state of Gujarat. IP creation and IP protection are very important aspects of this new economy, and we need to create that base, and I am sure that higher education can create that base using this technologies, and more technologies are coming up, and linking the technology to the actual problem situation and getting it solved is a challenge. That is where we people are all needed to explore the various ideas, work with each other, discuss with each other, and find the apt solution. Again, I believe that it is not important to have advanced technology or the latest or the hi-fi or the grand technology, but what works for the current situation is going to be very important for us. And no technology is going to be there permanently, and no problem is going to be same forever. Once we solve a problem, something else new is going to come up, and once we use a technology, we have a maturity, and then it needs to be phased out and new things have to come. So it's going to be a continuous life cycle. But the true real thing is that if we want to have any impactful change, if we want to have result faster, quicker, and more effective and more relevant, technology is the only option that we have. And I'm sure that we all are believers in technology. That's why we have gathered here to look at various aspects of it. Ultimately, technology is useful only if it's going to increase the goal, that is increasing the education and skill for our students, and thereby building a better society. I am thankful to Sovik and his team for having me here and letting me one more opportunity to share my ideas of how to transform higher education and through technology. Thank you so much for having me here, and thank you all for listening to me.
Always a pleasure listening to M. Nagarajan, IAS Director, Higher Education Department, Government of Gujarat. He talked about importance of innovation and technology for imparting higher education in the new normal. But as Mr. Nagarajan was saying that you try to give a perspective on how what steps are being taken in Government of Gujarat. You talked about amalgamation of academic and non-academic activities during the lockdown, during the new normal, using technology. Very important point which you have raised, that very less resistance you have faced when it came to inculcating new technology or imbibing new technology during this difficult times, and that is a huge uh, uh, achievement, I must say, because that's been a change which we can all see for last 1.5 year. Now almost everybody is talking about technology, everybody is using technology. There's no other way, and that has
Yeah.
quickly changed the things, that not only for education but various spheres of life. And the brilliant work done by Gujarat, when we talk about that, 700 plus patents and almost 5,000 plus ideas being funded. Uh, from age 70 to 21, the entrepreneurial mindset being nurtured in the state of Gujarat. And you have that brilliant model called Gujarat iHub. I know that personally that's how you're innovating and helping students to nurture their entrepreneurial mindset in that. And also very important point, you talked about the creation of IP, not only creation of IP, but also protecting IP. And at last, you talked about that technology is ever changing. Every day, new other technology will be coming, which is coming, but needs will be also changing accordingly. So we have to use technology, but we also have to think about using technology optimally. What is needed, and we should try to get that technology to get our work done. Thank you so much, and as you have said rightly that. Future of education aspects of fostering tech as a culture is no more an option, it's a reality. So we have to embrace technology, but we also have to see how that technology can be leveraged optimally, efficiently, which can actually address the need of this present situation. Thank you so much, M. Nagarajan.